Welcome, you guys, to another episode of Unplugged Voices. I'm Nate.
I'm Josh.
And we're your hosts.
And on today's episode, we got a special guest. His name is Christian Cox-Elander. Yeah. He's a musician. You could follow him on Spotify, and he goes by the name of XTion. So, Christian.
With the exclamation point as an I.
Yeah. Well, it's, let me just verify. It's still Christian.
It's Christian, but it's spelled XT exclamation point.
XTIAN, and like, you know where that stems is like Christmas. You know how they spell Christmas, Xmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I thought I can get away with it without confusing anybody. But here we are, confusing everybody.
Unless you know your name, then it makes sense.
Yeah. And I think once the name gets out there, you know, it'll be one of those things that just becomes more obvious in time.
Yeah, I would.
When I was a kid, I never understood that X meant Christian.
Christmas, like Xmas.
Yeah. I didn't, for the longest time. I didn't know what Xmas meant. I was like, is this a separate thing?
I thought, or like people were just saying it for short. Like,
yeah. I didn't understand it.
It's just a short version of the spelling maybe. But, you know, people in China be doing that a lot for the name Christian.
Oh.
That's a common name in China.
Really?
But it's spelled XTN. Yeah.
Oh.
Really?
Christian, yeah. Shout out Chinese people. Like,
I don't think there's anyone.
Thank you for validating my name a little bit, allowing me to have a platform here.
Actually, when we looked XTion up, an Asian dude did pop up.
Yeah, no, it did.
Every time. Yeah. Every time. I've done it so many times to be like, I wonder if there's a Christian on like Twitter or like Instagram. I search it and some chubby Chinese dude every time.
Beat you to it.
Yeah.
But we wanted to ask you about your music. Recently, you just actually performed for your high school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How was that?
It was very nice. So like I feel like, let me just
point the camera a little more point the mic towards you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. As a disclosure, it's not a big high school. It's like the high school that I graduated from only had like 150 people in it.
Yeah.
So I performed for maybe 100 kids and like a bunch of teachers that I didn't even recognize anymore. But
wow.
Yeah, I only knew maybe 3 people when I stepped into that building by then. But it's been 7 years since I've returned to that school, and even
whole new staff, huh?
Whole new staff. I mean, but I stayed in touch. So the way I got it was I stayed in touch with one of my old. So with that school, Innovations, they do this thing where they go by like scholars, not students, and like advisors, not teachers.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's just it's a way to like tame egos, because a lot of bad kids used to go to that school, and so like they'd be like, fuck you, and then like, you know, like, you're not my teacher, I'm not gonna call you Mr. Bernard, like I'm gonna call you Barry, you know. Like, so like everyone calls everyone by their first names, and so but I stayed in touch with an old advisor, and he's just been kind of watching me as I began publishing and finally dropped my music and stuff.
That's awesome.
So he hit me up and he was like, hey, we do these Friday kickouts still, which are like Friday assemblies for the school. And back when I used to go there, I used to be kind of jumping with the band that they had over there. There was a bunch of other kids that were into music when I went there.
Yeah.
And so I would jump in, and like I've sang like Bob Marley in front of that school before.
Okay, that's
like,
tight.
I've even freestyled in front of that school, which is like a whole nother level of confidence.
Heck yeah.
but
I feel like you need that confidence in order to be like an artist, you know? It's
for
like
sure.
You gotta be prepared for a large audience and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, talent shows and like quick little gigs and at like random venues and stuff are the way to like build up that confidence. And you have to in this day and age, because the number one thing that identifies you as a musician or an artist is proof of that live.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, I jumped up like a bunch of followers on Spotify and got more engagement the moment I showed people that I rapped for my high school. Like, they're like, oh, so this guy actually goes out and like accomplishes things music wise, you know?
That's awesome.
So that's how that landed though. And yeah, I think it went well. To answer your question, how'd it go? It went good. It was a nerve wracking, even though I'm like, there's a huge generational gap between me and all those high school kids now.
Oh yeah.
You know? So
yeah.
I don't look anything like them. They don't look anything like me anymore. You know, and like
the generation now is just like, they look very young now.
They look very young, and they all got colored hair and like nose rings and shit by the time they're 15.
Did you see any furries?
I guarantee you at least 3 of them identified as furries, but like, a lot of blue haired. I can tell where they would vote if they could vote, you know, like, you know, but like, I mean, when I went there, it was like river rat downtown kids.
Yeah.
You know, like we're all like part hippie, part street kids. There's a lot. I mean, when I went there, it was like more of the outcast of most public schools that ended up going there, and that tends to be people that are a little bit more thuggish, a little bit more rough around the edges.
Yeah.
People that get in fights easily. So reactive kids often go there. And so when I went there, there was an aggressive personality kind of thing going through that school.
Yeah. Got you.
Now it's a soft generation now, you know, and like not to even just clown on them like that, because like
These kids don't be going out nowadays.
they don't. They literally. I mean, I'm very white, and you can tell I'm vitamin D deficient. But like, dude, they're on a different level. They're like, you can see through their skin.
Pale.
You know,
Pale. They look like some
translucent.
Yeah,
It's a good-
translucent. That's exactly what it is. No, yeah. Now this generation now, it's crazy to see because like these people are training their kids, just like giving them this iPad, just like these iPad kids, right? Yeah. Talk about them, but now a lot of them aren't really getting exercise like that with these electric scooters coming out, these electric bikes coming out and stuff like that. These kids don't get roughed up as much as we used to as kids, you know?
We were talking about this in the gym the other day. I think I was talking to Rob about this. I looked at the old PE clips of USA.
Yeah.
Like old Americans in PE in the 1800s, 1990s. Bro, they were doing the most extreme stuff. Yeah. Everyone's jacked. And then when we got to high school, they kept lowering the standards for PE.
Dang.
Yeah, they don't require kids to like run a mile anymore, do they?
They lowered, I know they lowered the pacer test. They lowered that, and they lowered the push-up standard as well.
Yeah. I mean, well, they did the same thing for our freaking army.
Warriors, yeah.
Which is crazy. Like, the one thing I don't think we should compromise is how strong our army is.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with that, like with you performing at your school, did you ever think you were going to do that when you were at that school? Like growing up, like you said, you're like performing and doing all that. Did you think you were going to come back and do it again and perform?
Well, I definitely knew that, like, during the time that I went to that school, I had just kind of started envisioning what it was like to be a rapper, a singer, an artist, or whatever. And I didn't have any idea what that was going to look like in a couple of years, but I do know that performing and live performance is a part of like hip hop and part of the culture. And if I want to get in with any of that, then I have to show myself, you know. And during that time, like I was going to do like Coast to Coast Live, which is like it's like a hip hop rap event where people like compete against each other for a spot to get like studio time. And
okay.
I went up and bro, it was the corniest. It was me and two other friends. Name drop: Trev Stone, Harrison Bartlett. They were like my brothers growing up, and they like helped me get into the music scene and stuff, and cultivated a lot of that, just like freestyling outside of school and like hanging out, making beats and stuff.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely pictured myself doing it again. I didn't picture myself coming back to the high school and doing it again there. But I had always, I mean, I have not revered away from like stage time ever. You know, like I don't mind the limelight if I can get it.
Heck
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Heck yeah.
Which is
Take
good.
as
I
much
feel like
as you can.
I think musicians need to have that.
You got to have that like tenacity, you know. And it's a level of humility and conceitedness at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like there's nothing more raw than just going up on stage and shouting at people. You know, like
Very true.
that is all you. And
They all got to listen to you.
yeah, it's very intimate, you know. But and then also it's a conceited effort too, because you think you deserve to be seen. You think you deserve beyond other people, if that even makes any sense. But it's like, yeah, no, I think there comes with being an artist a little bit. You have to self-recognize, and no one's gonna recognize you before anyone recognizes you. It's gonna be you first.
Yeah.
And so you have to feel like you deserve that. You know?
That's awesome.
100%. I think you have to be the biggest believer of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think all artists start with that, and then their mom tells them, "Good job, honey," and then like kind of goes on from there.
That's
you know?
the benchmark. That's like, okay, this is where we can make it.
Yeah.
So when you're going through your writing process, what does that look like for you?
Oh man, so it's kind of corny, but I call it. I'm one of those people who like to put a little bit of spiritual like intonation on it. I like to think that like a spiritual muse hits me up every now and then. It's just like, hey, you got some work to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that was, but it's something that I cultivated over time, because when I was in high school, just freestyling with my friends and like wanting to have the coolest bar the next day that I come and hang out with them again, you know. And so I just stayed writing until it felt like it was me. And then nowadays, when I want to write, it's really just a random spark of creativity will hit me, and I call that the muse calling me up and just being like, yeah, you got something to do right now, and like I'll be dead in the middle of my job. I'm a plant guy. I like go to places and take care of plants and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So like I'll
You
be
got
on
the green thumb.
Yeah, for sure. In many ways, and but yeah, so like I'll like pull up to my job and all of a sudden I'll hear a beat, or I'll have like a YouTube beat playing like in the car or something. I'll just pull over right there and just like, oh, time to write. So it's just when it hits, and I'm not always sure when it's gonna hit. Sometimes I'm super sleepy and don't have any energy for it. And I'm like, all right, it's calling though, you know.
Yeah.
And then other times I'm like, okay, I have like something to say. You know.
Do you ever have like just those like random times to where like a lot of artists create their music like in 2 a.m. or something like that, 2, 3 a.m. and stuff? Like, are you one of those? It's like really be up all night just making music, or like do you have sleepless nights making music?
Yes, I definitely have those. I'd say my best ideas musically do come late at night. I think there is kind of like a couple hours like past midnight where you kind of just get this random spark, I'd say. But I don't know, like the act of making music is still very mysterious to me, you know. Like it's a generational knowledge just being like recycled and reshaped over and over again, and then passed to the next generation. And everything that I do today is nothing like people did 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago. It's changed so much since then. We're just trying to emulate greatness is all we're trying to do.
True.
And that looks different depending on your time. You know, back, it all started with some dude beating a stick against a rock and was like, kind of like this. Kind of like that right now.
Imagine the olden days, Stone Ages.
Yeah, no, and that's why it feels so good to do that, honestly. Like, when's the last time you guys beat something just randomly, you know, just grab a stick and beat?
Last night. What are you talking about, bro? Dude, what do you mean by that?
I masturbate in eighth notes. That's all I'm trying to say.
That's when it hits him, the beat hits him, bro.
Fuck yeah, dude. When inspiration hits, it hits. It doesn't matter where and when.
Yeah. It is what it is, bro. So when you mentioned like if you hear a beat, you pull over, you start writing.
Yeah.
Is that like what the writing process is? Do you listen to do you make your music first and then you put your lyrics in, or is it a lyrics and then you kind of work that beat in?
I'm definitely the type of artist that would like hear a beat, hear myself in my head on the beat, and then I'll start humming, and then random like melodies and random like rhythms will kind of hit me. And when I'm like, oftentimes most of my raps and most things I write come off of a freestyle. So it'll like the beat will hit, a little bit of humming, I'll do a little bit of freestyling over it, and then when something kind of sticks or I hear something that I want to hear again, I'll just write that down. Boom, first bar right there, and then try to find some like flow with that. And yeah, it's again, it's a mysterious process. I love writing, but I don't understand where it comes from and like where my melodies are coming from. Where's this inspiration? Like, I'm not thinking about sounding like anyone when I'm making these sounds. I just sound, you know what I mean?
That's good.
Like, I just sound off. But I mean, I know like I grew up listening to Eminem. I ended up not even just like listening.
Got some culture, okay? No,
oh, for sure. But like, I mean, as most white rappers begin, or like any white guy that's getting into hip hop, they usually start with Eminem nowadays.
Yeah.
And, which is great. Just don't start with his like most recent stuff. But his old stuff, man, I was 9 years old and my dad's friend gave me a little iPod that just had a bunch of Eminem, DMX, D12, Dr. Dre, Exhibit, just like old 90s, early 2000s hip hop artists, you know. And yeah, from there, that's what cultivated a lot of my like flow and tenacity, I guess. But yeah, like too many years listening to Eminem for sure.
Gotcha. So that's one of your artists that you'd say you look up to, or like that who really got you into this game of being an artist and stuff.
Yeah. My first rap I ever wrote was like I was hanging out on Xbox Live as a 9-year-old does and shouting horrible things all night. And then my friend was like, what's that playing in the background? And it was just like a random Eminem song. And I started like rapping to it, and he's like, nice, bro. Just like, that's all. And that was enough for me to be like, I should write a rap right now. And I just like wrote the worst, most like aggressive scream rap I've ever done. Like just a 9-year-old, you know, but yeah, I'd say Eminem was a lot of that for sure. But I mean, that's like early music interest. Like that was the first, like outside of like Green Day and a couple bands that like my brother showed me when I was growing up and I was super young.
Yeah.
Eminem was the first artist that I found a connection to by myself, you know, but like not having someone like show me and not someone be like, listen to that, do this, you know.
He doesn't like being put on.
Yeah.
I do though.
I do.
It took a while, man. I was like one of those especially stubborn kids. Like if you put on anything other than Eminem around me when I was like 9, 10, 11, almost 12, I would have been like, shut that shit off. You know, like I was exclusive to my music taste. I was very dedicated to that like atmosphere of sound. And I don't know, maybe it's like a little bit of hyper focus, or maybe it's like I just wanted to learn it so much. Like I had stuff to study within that, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot to study when it comes to Eminem and his journey with music in general.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I think we should let people know how we even met.
Yeah. We're in a wet, hot room.
Christian and I were in a wet, hot room, and we were sweating together.
It was very true. With other men.
Other men. 3 to 4, around that range.
We're describing a sauna.
Yeah. Christian and I met
I
in the
thought
sauna.
differently. Whoa.
Yeah,
Read that the other way.
I got some dirty minds. We would get checked. But yeah, Christian and I met in a rock climbing gym in the sauna.
Yeah.
And you were kind of fairly new into climbing, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, when I first met you, I was like 6 months deep into it.
Yeah. So you're at the good progress stage, the best times climbing.
Yeah, where you see a lot of that progress fruition with your athletic ability in climbing.
Yeah.
Whereas like you said, I think you said yesterday that you've been climbing for 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 years?
6 years.
Yeah, see, that's like, I mean, I'm sure you plateaued somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sure you can't just grab into just a fucking flat surface now and just climb that, but
Yeah, I just broke my plateau and then got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the painful thing, is like we were working so hard to get past that plateau, working inside out of the gym. As soon as I break that plateau, I hurt myself. Reset. Haven't been in a while, bro.
That's rough.
It's honestly painful. But I actually did see you also do some archery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You shoot a recurve, is that right?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, during COVID you get bored.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm one of those guys that kind of likes to take on new challenges every now and then. You know, that's why I got into rock climbing. That's why I got into archery. I think that's partially why I even got into music and stuff in the first place. It's just I like challenging myself. And my brother's a big hunter. Shout out my bro Jeffrey, who lives in Alaska. He's a grizzly of a man, and I don't know, hunting looks cool when he does it, and bow shooting and stuff like that. Archery is really cool when he does it.
Oh, yeah.
He took me to an archery range, wasting arrows here in town, and shot my first arrow, like my first time ever shooting a bow. Dead center bullseye, and everyone in the place lit up too. And I just looked at my brother and I was like, I'm gonna go get a bow from Shields.
Yeah, he was
today.
hooked. That was it.
It was just like a calling. So I just had to
your secret power.
Yeah, I mean, and then with a little bit of influence of Joe Rogan, you know, he listened to too much of that shit.
Dude, he talks about that so much.
So much.
It hooks you.
Yeah, and he makes it sound really sexy. And like, I mean, he's like, yeah, you know what? It's not I don't know why I did a sexy voice. I don't know. He's like, Jamie, pull that up. But he's like, he describes it as like every day he goes in his backyard and sets up a little spot to shoot, and like it's a very meditative thing. And that's how I take it on too. I like to go up to like the Collin Ranch area above the housing spots and like go up a couple ridges where they used to throw bonfires back in high school. And I'd go up there and just set up a bag and put put on a little bit of music and shoot for like an hour and a half.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
So were those just hobbies you caught on during like COVID, or like how was that time for you? Like saying, were you writing a lot of music, or what were you doing like activity wise?
Well, COVID was when I'd say COVID's when I started gathering funds to like get my music going and like start learning the insides and outs of it. I didn't know anything about production. I'm self-taught in almost everything I do. So it's a slow and ugly process because, man, I sat there with a $3,000 studio set up for like at least a year and a half and had no idea how to use it. And there's something really like humbling about that when you realize that the thing you're into is way more complicated and hard than you thought.
Yeah.
So, what was the original question? Sorry.
Yeah, like how was it during COVID for you, and like what did you do like during COVID, and like were you writing a lot of music during COVID?
Got you. No, no, I was just watching YouTube videos and figuring out how to sound okay. I'm a very new artist, so like everything that I'm doing today is all a product of the last couple of years of applying like whatever I learned on YouTube and just like trying to make it sound cool. I made a couple tracks during COVID and put it on SoundCloud, and they're just fun tracks. I definitely stole the beats on YouTube and like didn't do it properly at all. And I just wanted to hear myself on autotune so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to sound like Lil Weezy, baby. You know, like I was like T-Paining it a little bit.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I posted a couple songs on like during COVID, but I just knew I had such a journey ahead of me cause like I'm a stickler for quality, for
What is that? What the fuck is
I
that?
kicked my water bottle.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a stickler for quality, and luckily I was real enough with myself during that time to be like, listen, you're nowhere near where you want to be music wise and talent wise and skill wise. So I just took some years and stayed undercover and just learned the insides and outs of it, practiced my instruments. I'm pretty much self-taught on guitar, piano, and I do the drums on like my finger pad and stuff like that. So I've got a little pad on the desk that I bang on. But yeah, not a ton of writing though. I'd say I mean, most of COVID was just like doing nothing with my girlfriend in this apartment most of the time. But it was more just like spending time to learn my equipment that I spent all this weed money on.
Yeah. Heck yeah. And so with that, so with you writing music and all that, what would you say? Would you say like there's a lot of stuff you haven't released that is your favorite stuff? Like you feel like you have nothing you want to release? Or hold on, let me clarify that. Sorry, I made that too complicated.
I'm so confused on the question.
I feel like I kind of
myself.
knew what you were saying though. Like, is there anything that like
you'll keep to yourself that you won't release?
For sure. And then like my earliest work, I mean, while I have somewhat of a connection to it, and it doesn't sound good, but like I was being real and I was being vulnerable on the mic, and there's moments that I've caught songs that I have that are like snippets of stuff where I just keep because it's kind of for me and like, you know.
Of course. So you make music for yourself.
Oh, 100%.
Like, so you can just listen to yourself and stuff like that.
I listen to myself probably more than I listen to other people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's good that you're like hooked to your own music and that you could listen to it all day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, but talk to me about your song "Throw Your Past Away."
Okay.
Because that's your most viewed song or listened to song.
Yeah.
And it's actually my favorite.
Yeah.
Where did that inspiration come for that one?
Man, that was
because it's a pretty deep song.
Yeah, dude, that was made when I was hurting the most. Boo-hoo.
Yeah, definitely was down bad during this one.
I was down bad, bro. My girl had just left me. I had the apartment to myself. I was lonely. It was months of just like sulking and stuff, and that was like in the midst of it where I just found a really nice beat. Boy 50 on YouTube. That dude makes great music, and I just found a tight beat, and I was sitting there freestyling to it, and I just missed her a lot, and I was like, I love you. And then I was like, how do I make that sound pretty? And some melodies later, and I freestyled most of that. Like most of that, like the the chorus is fairly simple, and like I just kept the melody from the chorus and met when we were younger. Something like the summer. I already forgot my own music.
You forgot your own music?
Well, I mean, like, okay, here's the thing. When I put something out, I really try to distance myself from it because staying in the headspace of your previous art, it like kind of takes away from your ability to grow and like get into a new headspace. You know, if I'm sitting there like revisiting stuff from 4 years ago, like I'm not doing enough to get my mind in a more in an elevated spot. You know.
So like that's a creative mindset, but like say if you're doing all these concerts, wouldn't you like need to like memorize all these songs? Like would it?
For sure.
He's like behind stage flashcards trying to memorize the songs.
Yeah, I mean when I was doing the performance for the high school, luckily they're fairly newer. Like one of the songs was 2 years old, and one of the songs was like 2 months old, and one of the songs was like 6 months old. So like yeah, I mean. I had to revisit a little bit and just sit there and like practice them again. But
gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these. I mean, while I definitely sat there and did take after take after take, "Throw Your Past Away" was a very candid song. Like, I just magically kind of found the right formula for the mix, and I was applying all these plugins, and I was like, okay, sounding pretty good. Not too much auto tune, but just enough to keep my flat ass voice from sounding through. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, "Throw Your Past Away" was made in like the middle of my heartbreak, and that was just kind of a tribute to the love I have for somebody that's like no longer in my life and stuff. But you know,
does she know it's the song? Yeah, it's about her.
Maybe she like moved on so quick. I don't even like to like wonder if she's checking out my music. Because I know there's too much like subliminal messages in my music that tell you it's about her, you know? A lot of like outside of Disrespectful EP, almost everything has like heartbreak vibes a little bit just tied into it, you know?
Yeah. And then, you know, that's what some people like can connect to your music like that, having emotion and having that like heartbreak. And it's like everyone's going through that feeling. And so you're helping them out through it as well. So it's like, you're there comforting them and knowing like in your music.
That cut actually was just because Christian needed a jacket, not because we had a camera shut off.
100%.
Yeah, Christian got cold.
He just like turned it off like he had magic. He just
He's like, guys, we have to pause. I'm cold.
Yeah, sorry. I'm for being in originally born in Alaska. I'm very sensitive to the cold.
Yeah, I was about to call you off.
That was about Alaska.
Yeah, I don't even consider myself Alaskan anymore. It's just like I am a Nevada guy now. I've been here since I was 5, so like
it's still cold out here too.
Nevada. I think it's wherever you stayed the longest.
100%. I'm acclimated to this environment, but
okay,
I'm still pasty like Alaskan, so I don't tan very well. I'm like part Irish, I think. So,
do you know the Outdoor Boys?
The Outdoor Boys?
Yeah, you guys know the Outdoor Boys?
Outdoor Boys, no.
Okay,
you say the Passport Boys. You say the Outdoor Boys.
Dude, this is crazy.
What other boys you got?
The Outdoor Boys?
I thought I was hearing something.
The YouTube channel?
No, I haven't heard of them, no.
It's the guy, he goes in Alaska and he like does survival things in Alaska.
Is that the like nerdy looking?
Yeah, he's a Mormon too, the nerdy Mormon.
Yeah,
the thin glasses.
Yep, and he'll sit there and make like little igloos.
Butter, yeah.
And he'll like
he's the butter bread guy.
The butter bread guy?
Yeah, honey butter guy.
I trust that, but
He's the honey
I don't know
butter guy.
nothing about it.
That's his thing, like honey butter.
Honey butter.
No, but he's in Alaska. That reminded me of him.
Yeah.
But he's so funny, man. He's like doing the survival stuff. But like before he did the survival stuff, he had like a fishing account that no one knew about, but I did when I was in elementary school.
You're his number one fan?
Bro, I used to watch all his fishing
Top
stuff.
comments are just like Josh every time.
He was
Love
like,
that fish, bro. Nice catch. Nice catch. Yeah.
But nah, he just started doing survival stuff in Alaska. Reminded me of him.
Yeah.
And he's white, pasty paste.
As most Alaskans.
Yeah.
I feel like it's either you're native or you're white.
Yeah.
You can tell the difference between the two up there. But they integrate nicely. You know, my brother's an electrician, and he like goes down to the village or goes up to the villages at the like most the furthest north Alaska that you can even like live in, he goes up to those like Inuit tribe villages and does like electrical work for them and stuff.
That's tight.
Yeah,
that's dope.
My brother Jeffrey's a badass for sure.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, who chooses to live in Alaska? Like,
is that a choice?
Or
is it just like you're born into it?
Well,
like who chooses?
I was born into it. I had no choice but to like run from moose in my fucking yard, dodge bears, dude. I've seen moose, bear, and like I mean, yeah, I was there for the first 5 years. I have vivid memories of having to hide up in a fucking tree while moose came into our yard, and we had to unleash like 10 of our dogs because everyone in Alaska has a fuck ton of dogs.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because
I feel like it's kind of mandatory, man.
It's mandatory. First, like you want something that can drive away predators, and like we are very privileged here in the city where we don't have to worry about like beasts coming to our front yard and eating our shit, you know. In Alaska, giant ass moose will come by and you have to have like at least 10 dogs, maybe not at least, but we'll say like a couple dogs burly enough to scare them away.
Dang.
And yeah, you want some protection.
So is there like a certain breed of dog that they usually have out there in Alaska?
Not us specifically, but I know there's a lot of like Malamutes and like Huskies, of course, thrive up there.
Yeah, that thrive in this. Okay.
But you know, we had golden retrievers, we had sheepdog, we had black lab.
Yeah. Well, isn't it in Reno? Don't they have like wild horses, walking in like neighborhoods and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, we have feral horses here.
Have you seen them?
I think once, but no, I don't know.
I drive by them every day when I go to Tesla.
Really? They're just running around.
Yeah, no, they're just out there
living their best life, dude.
It's crazy for me to see because I'm used to seeing well-trained horses and stuff like that because I work for the equestrian hunter jumpers.
Okay.
So with that, I'm always seeing like well-trained horses, but like seeing these wild, I'm like, yo, like shouldn't these be like?
I don't mess with horses.
Did someone do anything about this?
Yeah. Whoa, what's going on here?
I actually had a science paper about it. I had to come up with a solution to this issue.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like we got like graded on it, and I was like, what if we just like set up land for them to run in? That was my solution.
Like a pasture?
Yeah, like
a red line district.
Like a pasture for that.
Where we push the most impoverished horses to the worst of no. Okay. No. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of horse here in Reno for sure, especially like the further south you go. They're all just all over the yards and stuff. People will have them in their neighborhoods.
I don't mess with horses, dude.
That's so crazy.
You definitely don't want to go up to them. Those horses are like territorial sometimes, and especially with their
shit out of you.
Especially with their young, their calves. Is that the right term for a baby horse?
Yeah, calves.
Calf?
Yeah.
Calves?
No.
Unless it's
that's a
horse.
cow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's cow.
That's a cow.
What's a look it up.
Miniature horse?
Miniature horse.
The horse baby.
Bambi?
Yeah. I should know this.
Bambi was a character.
Man, I'm gonna seem so out of touch to my city.
A fawn. It's probably a fawn.
Oh yeah. Fawn? Fawn sounds right, but it sounds more like deer.
Yeah, I think that's deer. In Spanish. Fowl.
Foul.
Look at that foul, man. That's foul.
That's a foul move.
That's a foul move.
That's a foul move.
Dude, they come out the womb running.
Yeah.
Which
they get
blows
on
my
their
mind.
legs.
They're busting out the womb,
They
bro.
just get up, right?
Like,
they just start
look,
walking
look,
and shit. It's crazy.
Boom.
Yeah.
Look at this, guys. We got a monitor where we can all just see what's going on my computer right now.
Foul.
I like a good foul.
Have you seen videos of people getting kicked by horses?
I have, and it looks brutal.
You literally just die.
Yeah, they'll kick a hole in your chest. They'll cave your chest in.
I know it's crazy. You're saying this in Alaska too. You have to worry about other predators. What? What are you looking at that?
I was just listening to what you had to say.
You looked at me and I was like, I should be looking at something else. You mentioned in Alaska how you guys have to deal with like other predators and stuff.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that people in this city have no like awareness of true wildlife.
Yeah, we're detached as a civilization, man. That's what's very like. I think that's what's kind of nice about the idea of like being in Alaska is just being in touch with the land up there.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
You gotta you're not the top dog in that situation.
No.
In this city, like we're top dogs. Like, what are you going against, a rat? Even then, we're scared of them. But if in the wilderness, dude, we're nothing.
Oh yeah,
they hunt and survive. Like that's what they do.
They're
all day, every day.
Yeah, they're optimized for that environment. Whereas we're just trying to get by in that. Like when a snowstorm hits Alaska, dude, people, people shut down for sure. And when a snowstorm hits here in Reno, man, people stop driving and they crash into each other like immediately. So, I mean, it's a weather condition thing out there, and yeah, there's predators out there. There's fucking bears, beasts.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to cuss on this?
Yeah, of course,
Okay.
of course. Yeah, you're good. No worries.
Okay.
It's a 18 and over type podcast, but
That's why the casting couch is right over there, huh?
Yep.
The audience can't see the couch sitting in the.
Yeah, that's for the next shoot. You guys have something planned in the evening, right?
Stay tuned, guys. No, I was kidding.
Stay tuned. We fucking.
It was like the thing I sent you.
What?
It was, would you beat your friend off for $1 million? Oh. I sent that to a group chat of my friends in middle school.
Rough.
All dudes. I was like, yo, everyone get your dicks out. We better be millionaires.
It would be something you could just consider experimental for the sake of winning.
Look, bro, doing something once, it's not a big deal.
It can't be a big
Yeah.
Like you
Cooking
can't,
once don't make you a chef.
throwing a baseball once don't make you a pitcher.
Exactly.
You know?
Very
You know
true.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
doing something once.
Yeah. I just kissed my friend once.
Like, it's a one-time
I just
thing.
ate his ass one time. I swear to God, it ain't that big.
As long as you only did it once, it's okay. And you had your socks on, it's fine.
Dude,
You
yeah,
had
that's
your
what I'm
socks
saying. Yeah.
Socks off is crazy.
Yeah,
That's
your socks are on.
If you're gripping the fucking floor, if your grippers are just sunk into the carpet,
Clawing it. Whoa.
your talons are latched on that branch, bro. You got questionable vibes.
Oh man.
So what do you think if you ask a girl
Yeah.
to marry you, she says no, is the relationship over?
My dignity is, and that's probably good. Well, it would be. How do you come back from that? Like you have like
With the uppercut.
Oh my! If she says no, she got the meanest uppercut coming down.
just come back with domestic violence. Yes, that is a really end all be all for if anything goes wrong in a relationship. Uppercut. Like, what is she gonna do? You know?
Do already.
No, but
Nah, guys, no violence. No violence.
no, I
Trust.
would never condone hitting a woman.
Yeah, never do that. I don't go with that. No, not at all.
Yeah, unless it's a she-man and she wants the smoke. You know what I'm saying? You know
all
what I mean?
All of a sudden, I identify as gender fluid.
Yeah, yeah. You start preaching that shit around me. I don't care who I'm hitting. This is America. We're keeping it that way, baby.
He said equal rights, equal fights.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I think relationship's over.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. No, well, I mean,
There's
you
no
could
coming back.
also like talk to her and get the reason why. And it's like, you need an explanation why,
What would be a reason? Like, what would be a valid reason? Otherwise,
I don't love you enough.
Because
Yeah.
because say if you you proposed too early and she wasn't prepared, like you guys weren't really talking about it, but you were like, you just wanted to do it.
yeah. What's the minimum wait period? I think like 3 to 4 years.
It could almost be sooner. I mean, I've never seen.
You think later?
5. I'd say like 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
4 to 5 years.
I'm saying 3 as if like we met each other, we're older. Like we're older and we've been together for a while. 3 years. When you're 3 years when you're with someone when you're older is different than when you're younger. And
The first year, you guys are still getting used to each other.
yeah, but at 3 years
First
as
2
adults,
or 3 years, you can
I'm
still be
sure.
getting used to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It's 2,
that's-
3 years, and like there's still a lot you have to learn about someone.
Yeah,
it's like
I think-
you don't know the person like completely like that.
100%.
There's stuff they're probably hiding. There's stuff that you're probably hiding, or it's like you just don't want to show them like all of you.
I mean, girls can only contain their craziness for 1 year. I've noticed this. After
I know
1 year,
psychopaths that can do longer though.
after 1 year, man, they start to slip up,
It's true.
and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, she's crazy.
What you doing if a girl slashes your tires?
Getting new tires. Getting new tires and a new
good.
girlfriend.
She was tripping off you. She's like, no, forget this. Slashed all your tires. I'm like, dang.
There is nothing. I mean, I'm a
You gonna
pretty.
try to make her pay for them?
If it's all 4, insurance covers it. You have to do 3.
That's true.
I just got liability, man. There's no. I am broke, boy. There is no like. Let's go get the tires replaced, son. Like that's.
He's
fine.
got the minimum insurance needed. To
Oh,
have
just to
insurance.
drive, just to
Yeah.
get me on the road. But
Yeah.
So
yeah.
many people just don't have insurance.
So, yeah, that was me for the first year of driving.
Very sure.
Yeah, no, some people really just. I don't trust like that.
Yeah,
It's illegal.
Too risky, and it's not worth getting tickets. You know, like you can avoid them, and you know the laws. Probably just go along with it. You don't got to be that much of a rebel. You know,
That's his rebel stance. Yeah, I'm gonna drive without insurance.
yeah,
That's ballsy.
that's as far as I go. Nah, just kidding.
That's where you have to draw the line. Actually,
I'm slashing her tires.
Slashing her tires
Yeah,
back.
no, I'm slashing them back. Or no.
Hey, payback.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm like, again, I'm like pretty well behaved for the most part, so I don't know. All
right, what would your intrusive thought be? Slash them back?
Okay, obviously,
okay,
yeah.
Intrusive
Because,
thoughts is a deadly way to go. Like that's you go down that path.
yeah,
There's
I
no
do.
going back.
Revenge is a sick and twisted path. I'm tempted by revenge. I would be tempted by revenge. I would be like, I mean, okay, is she still my girl? Like
That's on you.
That's
You
very-
still
I'll
do
just
it?
say, like, for one, I'd probably dump a psycho bitch if that's like the case, really. But
Nah, but like you're hooked, man. You're hooked.
the sex must be great. The sex must be fucking awesome. Yeah.
She got you whipped. That's what you call whipped. If
I
you
think-
stay with that as you're whipped.
Yeah, if you stay with a girl that's slashing your tires over arguments,
Whipped.
she's letting you do it all. She's like, you have all your fantasies are just like they're fine. They've been covered. She's done it all with you. She's done the butt stuff. She's done the foot stuff.
A milestone. That's a huge milestone.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I'd probably in reality I would be like, yeah, it's over. Never talking to you again. And if you can send me a couple bucks my way, because I could use some help with these tires now.
Yeah.
Tires aren't cheap. I just got new tires on my truck, and I'm still behind.
Ooh, and you driving the truck? Yeah. Gas guzzler and them tires. You gotta. Whew.
Guess that's the price you pay for the heartbeat of America.
Hell yeah.
True American. I think it's worse
That's
if they get your
crazy.
paint. If she like keys the car, that's worse.
My truck's a piece of shit, man. She could hit it with a hammer on the side of it, and I probably wouldn't notice. You know?
Oh, okay. So
Damn.
the tires are at where Christian's at. If you're listening to this,
Yeah,
his
the
tires are
mean
where
more
it's
than,
at.
Yeah, the tires mean more than the paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Or you should go under his car and steal his catalytic converter. You could also do that.
Yeah.
Bro, I honestly think no one took mine. No one took my Cadillac converter.
Oh, Nate's car
My
just
car,
broke
my
down.
car's having troubles right now that I'm trying to fix. So
I've had my catalytic converter stolen like 2 to 3 times.
Are you guys calling it a Cadillac converter?
Yeah.
Word.
wait, no,
Catalytic converter.
catalytic
Catalytic.
converter.
I was hearing Cadillac for sure. And I was
Cadillac
I was
converter.
saying that. I was saying that.
It does. I mean, that's what I want to say. I mean, the fact I just said it so cleanly just now
Yeah.
is like,
Cadillac.
yeah. Usually the speech impediment hits with like multi-syllable words like that, like catalytic. Fuck. But catalytic converter, yeah, those are expensive too. Just had that redone.
Yeah, 2 to 3 times they stole it in our driveway in the Sequoia.
That's crazy. Like on the Sequoia.
They keep. I don't know.
Well,
they
the
just
Sequoia
got-
sits so high
It's
to
so
where you can
easy,
just
man.
get right under the car.
Yeah, you just go under snip and you're out.
Like
of
that was a kid's mansion. Like if a ball goes under the car,
Oh,
you
and
could easily get under
easily.
a Sequoia.
And sometimes it won't even get stuck. It'll just roll right through.
Yeah, roll right through, and you can get on the other side.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember going underneath the car to grab the ball, and then someone had to stand outside the car to make sure no one got in the car and run you over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays will never know that feeling.
They're like, how many kills you get on Fortnite? And you're just like,
Hop on the game.
Why was that us the other day?
how many kills did you got? I have the battle pass.
the battle pass.
Bro, the battle pass was a flex.
The emotes. Nah, kids are sweaty on Fortnite now, man.
They take it too
It's-
far, man. I'm just trying to
it's
have
too
fun.
sweaty.
I was just telling my friend how it's like ruined gaming culture, but at the same time is the most brilliant move you can make within gaming industry.
Yeah.
Is like putting out Fortnite, making V-Bucks, doing all these like microtransactions and stuff. Like,
Gaming
Very
kids,
true.
yeah.
it's gambling for kids. I mean, at one point, wasn't there like mystery boxes in Fortnite,
Yeah.
like season
Yeah.
1 and stuff, where like kids could like you would pay real money, get V-Bucks, and then gamble your way into something like nice, like a nice emote or a nice skin that was like rare.
Hell yeah.
That was when they started their gambling addiction.
Yeah, I think they actually had like a lawsuit or something hit them in the beginning, and they had to. That's why
pay
microtransactions
back.
look the way they do now.
Yeah.
There's like a whole store rather than like mystery boxes. Like,
Sure, that's why they keep giving us the notification.
Yeah.
Epic Games will never ask for your password.
Yeah.
That was it. That was-
No more.
yeah, dude. I miss like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater days, or like shit, even the Skate 3 days, and like Modern Warfare 2, Xbox 360. Like that was like the highlight of my experience on gaming.
Heck
Dude,
yeah.
back then it was the competition about PS3 or
Or the
Xbox.
360.
Yeah.
Nah,
dude.
man.
that was a huge.
I was original. I kept it a Wii.
Kept it-
Hey, bowling, baseball, catch me in that. It's
Bro,
over.
have y'all had the
tennis,
remote?
a little boxing with the nunchucks. Oh, I'm good with
Have
that.
you had the remote slip off your hand before?
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, if you haven't had a remote hit you,
Oh, dude, that was over swings, bro.
smack you.
Right in the head.
Yeah, the Wii was an ugly era for gaming, though. I used to come downstairs and like my dad would be in the living room playing Tiger Woods PGA Tour, and that fool would have a like foam golf club that he's swinging with, and he'd get a bad hit, and he'd be like, "Fuck!" and like slam the foam
On
against
the
the wall.
Wii.
Like, it's crazy watching an adult man playing the Wii when it was new, but it was so like novel at the time. Everyone was like, "Let's do the Wii boxing," and everyone's just like,
Yeah.
Box.
like, "That's how they
Oh
box."
my god, that's how you make it go really fast. Dude.
That's how you would do the quick punches, bro. You would just do the
You have to have the flick of the wrist.
yeah, cause like what you're really gonna just no, dude, just flick little flicks, and dude, you won that match.
Yeah, and then when that Wii Resort came,
Oh my god, that was the best.
Wii Resort. Oh yeah,
We was such ahead of their time, bro, with the sensor and everything.
Wii was actually dope, bro. Like look.
It still gets played today. It's
Look.
that good.
No, it's they use a Switch now. I
No,
don't
but
think-
some people still use the Wii.
Really?
They're starting to do they're starting to emulate some like Nintendo Wii games and put them on the Switch though, which is cool.
Yeah,
Played Skyward Sword on the Switch, and that shit was awesome. Like it's a Legend of Zelda game.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I played Zelda. Yeah, that does dope.
I remember Smash Bros on the Wii.
Religiously playing Smash. Dude, I've been playing that since Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
I was playing it when I was 4 and 5.
that stuff was so good. I remember we used to all sit with cousins
Yeah.
and get those huge parties going.
Yeah.
and,
On
like,
the
LAN
DS,
parties.
bro. We'd get on the DS. We'd
Oh
get on
my
the
God.
Game Boys. The Game Boys. Was
Did you
fun.
have a PSP?
No,
I
bro. I didn't get it.
I never had
Bro,
one of
I've
those.
never had a PS until my friend Brian. He gave me his PS4 when he was going to college because he already had like a PC,
Really?
and so that was like my first PS system. Because I was never growing up. I never really played games.
yeah.
I was always like outside playing sports, or like I was always busy with sports, so I never got the chance to really sit down, get on the game, because I'd come back home, either be super tired or like I would need to just like do homework and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I remember the Game Boy era. That was good.
I broke a couple. I was an aggressive kid, man. I had some aggressive tendencies. I broke 2 Game Boys and a Nintendo 2DS when I was like 17. But like, yeah, man, Super Mario World 3 fucked me up for some time. My 5-year-old ass couldn't take the stress. And my dad was like, "We're not getting another." So it was a quick Game Boy era for me. But I still have my some of my original Game Boy games and the original like Game Boy pouch and stuff. And I keep a Nintendo DS Lite in there so I could still play the DS, like my old Game Boy games.
Yeah.
And Super Mario and Luigi Saga, like the Superstar Saga games. F-Zero was dope. And then like Metroid, Fusion. Did I don't know if you guys played any like Metroid at all,
No.
dude.
I was
I was a huge
I was doing
Pokemon guy.
brain games on DS. Have you guys ever played brain games?
Yeah,
on
yeah.
DS?
I played those.
That one
Those
was
are cool.
good. I was a huge Pokemon guy.
Yeah,
Or Mario Kart.
I appreciated
didn't play much
Pokemon,
Mario.
but it's like it was one of those things. I watched the show quite a bit when I was a kid, and then like never got into the cards or anything.
Oh,
but
I had the cards.
I played a lot of Mewtwo and Smash Bros. You know, that's my main.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, no, it didn't ever like resonate with me too much. The shows were cool, and the movie was sick. You know, like the movies are pretty good. You know?
Yeah.
The Pokemon movies?
The first one where Ash gets turned into stone and Pikachu cries, like, oh.
I haven't seen.
Did you ever see that one? It was when they introduced like Mew, or like, yeah, they had Mew as like one of the main like legendary Pokemon that like artificially created Mewtwo and stuff like that.
I remember the scene of
Like,
turning to stone and
yeah.
crying. I remember that scene.
yeah,
I don't remember anything else of that movie.
yeah, that tells you how much of a fan you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang,
I know.
Josh.
All Pokemon guys are just like turning off the podcast.
Yeah,
right now.
they're done.
No,
They're
I'm
like,
not a huge geeker on Pokemon. I just played it because my brother had it on his DS. So that was the game that I always played.
It's a great franchise.
you guys
and then we had the Pokemon cards.
You ever get on
and
that
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Pokemon Go?
Yeah. You don't, dude, that shit was so awesome.
Played it for like a week. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I played it for a little bit when it first came out because the hype, you know,
It was hot
you know
when it
something.
first came-
Yeah,
everyone
when it
was
first
at
came
the
out,
park, bro.
bro. There used to be
People were
groups of people.
outside.
Yeah.
People were outside with that. Like
We enjoyed
Cash me
going
outside
out.
with that.
that was the Pokemon Go app was a great app to get people outside. I'd say
It worked. Yeah.
it like got people outside being active, walking and stuff like that. So like there was great outcome out of that app.
and then people figured out that you could drive with it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Then it started to decline.
yeah,
That's
and
when
it's
it
like
was
it was dope because you can everywhere you go, there was like always a new Pokemon and stuff like that. Like you
Yeah.
can catch and stuff, which was really dope. And I was like, that
My
shit was
mom
clean.
still uses it.
Really?
Yeah. My mom walks to work every day, so she still uses it. She loves that stuff. She used to call me and tell me, like, and I'd drive and pick her up because she would have like a rare Pokemon on her phone
Yeah.
to capture it for her.
That's cute.
Yeah, she's
That's
so
some
into
cute
that.
ass shit.
And she would always take over the gyms by our house.
Yeah.
And she would check it every day and see if someone took over the gym, and then she'd walk back to take the gym back. Yeah, she took that stuff so serious.
Territorial Pokemon mom.
Yeah, she loves
Pokemon.
that
No pun intended.
stuff. Pokemon. Did you hear about the Cam Newton getting jumped?
Yeah, I did see that little like blip of him like holding one dude down, like basically just like manhandling two guys like this. You know, and then
Dude, who's walking around thinking you could jump a pro NFL player?
There's been
What is he, 6'5", 245?
he never had linemen who can block for him, so he was always dealing with that when he was.
yeah, when your profession is fending off multiple dudes trying to tackle you, don't take multiple smaller dudes and
Yeah.
try to tackle him. You know,
Yeah, all the dudes in
it's
the
insane.
NFL weigh and are a lot taller than those guys who were there.
And they're athletes.
Yeah, exactly.
and
So
like they have like that. Like there's like a distortion between like TV and real life too. Basketball players, like, and you're like, yeah, they're tall for sure. And then you see one in real life, and you're like, they're fucking giants. They don't even look like humans a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
like they're like a different species when they're that tall. But
It's like more the linemen that are tall, but it's like once you get close to like some more like DBs and stuff like that, or running backs are short.
yeah.
okay, yeah, that makes
But
sense.
I'll see stuff like I'll see football players. You see them walking on the field and
Yeah.
they're standing next to someone. They look super short, but you look him up. The dude's still like 6'2".
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
he's still tall, but he's just standing next to a guy that's 6'5". and
It's that eagle viewpoint in TV because we're always looking at them kind of from like up a little bit. I think it probably distorts it. It makes them look a little bit like shorter than what they really are in real life. But they're beasts of humans, man. I'm not a football guy. I'm a I was a stick figure growing up. Like those.
You played any sports growing up?
Yeah, I played a little bit of baseball, but kind of the skating culture took over my life after like 4 years in baseball when I was a kid.
Okay.
We won the little like the regional series, like the Little League series one year on like Twin City and shit.
Okay.
It was fun when I was a kid, but sports were never much my thing. I don't really watch it. Yeah, again, I got into skateboarding, and so that kind of took over.
And so, like, were you big on like the X Games and stuff like that when you're like growing up, like watching all the skateboarding and stuff, or was skateboarding just like something you just did just to get outside?
I watched a little bit of that stuff. It was like if it was on, and it was like, man, I think you just see some stuff on like MTV every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, of course,
Ridiculousness and stuff
oh
like
yeah,
that.
I mean, like Robin Big and like
I
Robert X
love
Fantasy
Robin
Factory.
Big.
Dude,
Oh,
like,
that was a great like era.
that was one of the
Oh, I loved it. And
healthiest
Chanel's
era-
laugh. Her laugh. Like a dolphin. So bad. You see the clip where they were playing dodgeball inside and he like
She got
threw
beamed.
it and she
She
got
got
beamed
beamed.
right in the head.
and then kicked the ball and beamed her again
right
right
after.
after. I think like she like chipped a tooth. Chanel West Coast, if you're hearing this, I love you. Like, you can laugh annoyingly anytime you want. It's okay.
There you go.
Let it rip. Like let it rip.
So you
You
were
can
at
handle
the peak of the Tony Hawk times, huh?
Yeah, I was competing. I was competing at the peak of my. No, I was not a good skater, but I was into the culture, and I was lucky to be around when kids still weren't like going outside all the time.
Yeah.
Skating culture is a little bit. I'm sure it's mostly the same, but it's a little bit different now. Like people are just different nowadays, you know. Skateboarding was a good portion of my life for quite a bit, but I got like back pains and shit by the time I was like junior year.
That's roughing up your body, hitting the concrete when you fall. I was more into the pro scooters, but like I wasn't too serious on it, but like I can do tricks, but other than that, nah.
Nah, bro. When those things hit your shin, you're
I was
done.
just gonna bring that up.
No,
You're done,
yeah,
bro.
exactly. Trust, like my shins are numb now. Like something can hit my shins and it's okay.
You've killed all the nerves in your shin already.
Yeah.
By scootering. Yeah. I mean, skaters feel it too, man. You freaking do like the tray flip the wrong way. You do a bad kick flip. You do a bad shove it. You're getting a good shinner, and you're taking that home and you're crying. You know,
A shinner.
Shinner.
You're taking a shinner.
That's a sport. Like you just got to get back up and just keep doing it. Because
That's the best part of it.
after you fall, like all those guys take a rough falling, but you know what, they're gonna land it, and you feel a lot better when you land it, and it's like, you know, I accomplished something. Like those guys feel accomplished once they finally hit the trick.
Yeah, why don't y'all wear helmets though?
Oh, because being dangerous and edgy and risky and keeping style in is like what was cool. But like I was literally just talking about this with a friend the other day. I think once you take a good fall and you actually hurt something for the first time, then you get a realization like, oh, maybe it is worth it to protect myself rather than like trying to look cool in the skate park and not have a helmet.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen kids really hurt themselves. I've seen broken arms on the skate park, and I've seen concussions happen. And wear a fucking helmet.
Yeah.
You're not going to get bitches skateboarding anyways, dude. you're like...
No, girls love skateboarders. Emo girls love skateboarders.
Yeah. It's always the raggedy girls that like skateboarders, though.
That's what he thinks. I think you're perfect just the way you are. And if you're...
I don't know. I mean, I've never done dreads. I tried to do waves. That didn't work out at all. Waves did not work out at all for me.
You had the mullet going for a second.
I did. I had the mullet going on for like a month, or I got it
good.
once.
I liked it.
Yeah, I regret cutting it, but it's okay. But
I'm keep mine going. Maybe I'll get rid of mine.
I'm glad the mullet made a return. You know, like it has a place in society. You know,
I think now it's normalized.
Would you ever get one?
My hairline is just evil, bro. it wouldn't be nice.
How many hairstyles would you say you've gone through?
Well, before I grew out my hair, I was buzzing my head because I thought I was losing my hair because I was like probably just not taking care of myself and my diet was bad. And like my adult hairs were kicking in and my jeans were kicking in, so I was like losing hair. But I mean, I had long hair in high school, pretty long hair, like Bieber hair, and like elementary through like middle school, and then high school I grew it out, and
different transformations.
Yeah. I mean, I had a hardcore hippie era. Like, I'm kind of returning back to my high school look, which is funny, but I just rather not look. Because, dude, if I shave my head and grow out my beard, I just look too aggressive and too serious, bro. Like during COVID, I was shaving my head, growing out my beard, and doing archery a lot. Like, people didn't want to fuck with me.
Turning into a Viking, bro.
Yeah, and yeah. So I'm just growing it back out just for funsies.
Awesome.
But
that's awesome.
It's also my first time the first in like 4 years I realized I can grow out my hair again. So I'm taking advantage of it before it all falls out.
Dude, this guy's so young and he's so concerned about losing his hair.
My brothers my brother balded at 20. My other brother, I have two brothers that are like in their just hit their 40s.
Yeah.
And one of them's completely bald. One of them's really thin. And I was pretty sure I was next in line with that. Like I used to have like
bro, I think it skips you, bro. You got a full head of hair.
Thank you. Because
it don't look like it's going anytime soon.
All right, ego up.
Up. Just don't shave it again because it might not come back.
Yeah. Shout out hair, man. Makes you look younger. I think everyone should grow out their hair. I think it's like hair's a beautiful thing. My mom's a hairstylist, so she's always like, I guess hair's always been a concern in my life and around my life is like my mom always cutting hair.
Yeah. Did you have musicians in your family as well? Like you say, like your history and stuff like that. Do you ever think about it like with your cousins or family and stuff?
I have musically inclined family members, but I don't believe I have anyone that really took music seriously as on the production side.
Gotcha.
My dad is really cool in the way that he got into the business side of music. he used to be a concert promoter in Alaska.
Oh wow.
And he spent like while he was with my mom, he was doing it for a little bit too. But he used to put on like Ozzy Osbourne. He's met Ozzy Osbourne. He's met Tim McGraw. He has pictures with all these like super famous bands like ZZ Top, awesome. Rob Zombie, Tim McGraw, Ozzy Osbourne, like famous musicians from the 90s that no one really knows about anymore.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's cool. It's very cool.
Sorry, I'm hearing voices in the background.
I heard that too.
That's what I heard. I was like, what the heck?
But yeah, so my dad, he's worked in the marketing side of music.
Hey, shut the up.
That's why I started laughing. I was like, bro, what the heck is that noise?
Just like 1 second. Hey, shut the
But yeah, so my dad has worked on the marketing side of music and had a really cool career for quite a bit doing that stuff. But my brother plays a guitar. My cousin Skylar, shout out Skylar, fucking love you. He's a great singer, man. He used to live here in Reno, and he used to be like in like a little band when he was like 5 years old and shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude is just so talented.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, my brother plays guitar a little bit. My mom and my other brother used to do drums and stuff like that. So like, there's like musically inclined people. We have rhythm in my family.
Yeah.
But no one's taking it serious enough to like pursue music.
And you're that one to.
I'm definitely the first to publish a song.
That's
like,
awesome. That's super awesome.
That's cool. My dad's made a little bit of music in his day, but he's just not much of a musician as he is just an admirer of the art, you know?
That's cool.
But
and so with that, what is a message you'll give to like the kids who want to become musicians or don't really have like the push to really like do it, you know? Like what's some encouragement would you give them?
Spend time to like do music the way you like to do it. I think there's a lot of influence in today's culture. People put people on so much that like people think that making music one way is like the only way to do it. And you got to build a relationship with it. And it's rough in the beginning when you're just getting to know music, and like theory is like really intimidating. Playing the guitar for your first couple times, you're like, what the fuck am I doing with my fingers?
Yeah.
How am I ever going to get good at this? But please humble yourself and spend time sucking. Honestly, you gotta yeah. Pause. Sucking. You gotta spend time. You gotta suck.
Spend time sucking and enjoy it.
But yeah. I mean, my friends and I used to say you got to get all the whack shit out first, and there's real truth in that. Everyone starts out really rough. No one sounds great when they begin. And eventually you just develop skill. And like, and with music, people are talented and people will deter you from wanting to get into like an instrument or to even start producing. But it's like, because they're so good. Some people are just so wickedly awesome at playing the guitar. You're like, what's the point of me even learning?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you want to ignore that, build a relationship with it yourself, you know, fall in love with it, you know, and have a conversation with it. It's going to make you feel bad sometimes. And it's going to make you feel good sometimes. And you can kind of cultivate what you want to feel in music as you build that relationship.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome. Well,
Heck yeah.
Thank you for hopping on, Christian.
Yeah, dude.
Let them know where they can find you.
Spotify, Apple, XT, exclamation point, AN, Christian, XTN, Xgen. I don't know what you call me. Just listen to my fucking music. And my Instagram handle is Christian_CE, CHRISTIAN, spelled like the religion, _CE. And that's my Instagram. I'm always posting bits about what I'm doing and stuff, and like showing people some of my upcoming work. And like upcoming work, I got an upcoming mixtape. It's kind of unlabeled still. I'm thinking, I'll let it go, I guess. But it's like I'm thinking of calling it the Anti-Hero mixtape.
Heck
And
yeah.
it's gonna be a 9-song mixtape of some of my best work over the last 2 years. All
Be ready.
Yeah, dude. All the golden songs that like I think that were so good by themselves are kind of just being compiled into this mixtape. And yep, it's gonna be really good. Some of it is produced. Like I got some features on it. Shout out your man Hobbs, Harrison Bartlett. He's going to be on it. My homie Algeray, J. Rue 775, another great artist here in town. 2 of those artists everyone should go check out too on Spotify.
Hell yeah,
they're
guys.
amazing. So I'm getting some features, doing most of the production all by myself. I shout out Nicholson, even though he doesn't probably want me to shout him out. But shout out him because he contributed to quite a bit in this mixtape. So yeah, it's
awesome.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be raw. It's gonna be me, and you guys are gonna like this one a lot.
Yeah,
Awesome.
guys, make sure to tune in with that. And as always, thank you guys so much for joining us for this podcast, and thank you, Christian, for joining us as well. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
You guys know the drill. As always, keep those voices unplugged.
Deuces, guys.